girls what they want for breakfast, and they want oatmeal. So I can eat oatmeal for breakfast too. That's fine with me. Container just makes it a little bit easier to pour, so that's why I put it in here, and also keep a 1/2 cup measuring spoon in here so it makes it easier to measure out. After I get the oats in the bowl, then I just go ahead and add some water and then pop these into the microwave for about a minute. The next step is always a little pinch of salt. And you can make it whatever thickness you like. It was a little bit thick, and it's still thick, but so I added some water to it. I'm gonna need some cocoa powder for Cody. She likes chocolate oatmeal, and Corey likes the maple flavored oatmeal, so I'm gonna use some pancake syrup in hers. Both of them are gonna get a little bit of sugar. Corey is only gonna get a little bit because hers is gonna mostly be sweetened with the pancake syrup. And that's it for hers. Cody also gets some sugar, obviously more than Corey got because hers is going to have cocoa powder, which is bitter. So I went ahead and added some more water too, just because it was so thick, and she doesn't like hers that thick. But that's it, really. You just put sugar, salt, and cocoa powder, and that gives you chocolate oatmeal. And then for mine, I'm just going to do a little bit of sugar and some peanut butter. I would normally do some banana too, but it's a little bit more ripe than I like mine. The ones that are in there, we don't have any like bananas that have any green on them. And I don't like my bananas speckled. They just don't taste good to me once they get too ripe. So for me, it's just going to be plain peanut butter oatmeal. And it's going to melt in there and run through the oatmeal.
I'm sure you're like a rub. I see rice coming out of the bowl. Rice. I feel like Elsa. I feel like Anna, Mom. I feel like Elsa. And I feel like Anna. Wow, so hot.
thought I hit record, but I didn't. So all I did was added in the some chopped onion and green onion, and then I added in some oil and rice, and now I'm just sauteing the rice in the oil just to dry it out a little bit and heat it through all the way. And if it gets a little bit of color on it, that's not a bad thing either. So I'm just gonna let this saute for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna add in all the other flavors and ingredients. So if you notice that it's starting to stick, just add a little bit more oil. If you notice that the rice kernels are sticking together, you also want to add more oil, because you want the rice to be super dry, because we're going to add in a bunch of soy sauce, and you don't want it to be, you want it to maintain its texture and structure even once we add in more wet ingredients. So you really need that oil to kind of dry it out and prepare it for all the other things that are going to go in here. So every grain of rice should kind of be coated in a little bit of oil. You don't want it floating, but you just want each one to have a little bit on it. The next step for me is always to make like a little pool in the middle. And then I'm just going to add in some eggs and scramble them inside the pan. How many eggs you want to add is up to you. I'm going to go ahead and do 5. Just because this is quite a bit of rice. Adding a little bit of sugar just to counteract the saltiness of the soy sauce, because you need kind of a lot of soy sauce, and if it weren't for that, all you would taste is salt. So you need to create some balance. You could also add some a spicy element with some sriracha sauce. That's something I'll do a lot of times too. And at this point, it's just about letting the rice dry out again, because it's kind of wet now from the soy sauce. So I'm just going to leave it on high and let it continue to cook, and let the water or the moisture evaporate from it. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like in the end. It's lunchtime, y'all, and I'm going with leftovers because this was good. So I'm gonna just heat up some of this fried rice. Ooh, that's a lot. Put a little bit back. Okay. Yep, so I'm gonna have some shrimp fried rice. Warm this up, get some soy sauce, maybe a little bit of duck sauce. We'll see. Some hot mustard might be good on this too. Into the microwave. Contrary to what people believe, even people who know me personally think that I love to cook, and that ain't it. That's not the case. She done. I love to eat, y'all, but I don't love to cook. The problem is the only way for me to eat without spending $1 million is to cook. And I also wanted to show y'all that we're pretty much getting down to the wire on what's left in this refrigerator. Hardly anything. This is basically empty. I got some condiments, but we're running out of those too. As far as food goes, we do have some fruit left, but we don't have any milk. These chicken thighs, which I'm cooking tonight, lettuce, zucchini. Should probably freeze the zucchini. A few fruits. The kids had some carrots last night. They opened up this bag of baby carrots. This was at the bottom in the veggie drawer. The only thing left in there now is onions. Got some mangoes. Those weren't in here before. Sorry about that. Those weren't in here before because I was trying to let them ripen. And we still have some more fruit in here too. So we're doing pretty good. That was a quick little update. Now back to lunch. Got some good old soy sauce. Might be too much. Alright, so it is dinner time and I got my rice in here ready to go. It's been washed a couple times. I'm just going to pop it into the microwave for 20 minutes while I work on the chicken and get that fried up. So my chicken's already thawed out. Like I showed you guys before, it's the boneless, skinless chicken thighs. So I am literally just going to season these and then get them into a pan with a little bit of oil to fry. I've been getting pretty frequent headaches in the last couple days. I definitely need to be improving what I'm eating and making better decisions overall. So you guys are going to see some changes in the kinds of recipes that I'm going to be preparing in the new year. Not to say that I'm never going to make fried chicken again or, you know, bake a cake again or anything like that, but just because we need to just make better choices on a day-to-day basis, and every day doesn't have to be decadent, you know? Sometimes it's okay to eat a healthy meal, or it's okay to not indulge all the time, is what I mean. Okay, so my chicken is cleaned, and I'm literally just going to throw a bunch of seasonings on here. So I have the normal garlic powder, onion powder. That's the end of that onion powder. And some pepper. Also need to add pepper to my grocery list because this is about done. I maybe have one more meal left in there. I'm going to add some adobo. This is going to add some salt as well. And then lastly, I'm going to add some complete seasoning. And this is another seasoning that I need to pick up on my next grocery trip. And you can't get this at Aldi, but where I get it is Price Right, I think is the name of the store. And I can always get this bottle there for like $3. So that's where I go to get that. So I'm going to give this a toss with my tongs. And then get it into the pan. I'm going to go in with a little bit of olive oil. And then just get my chicken directly into this hot pan. And at this point, I'm sure King is tired of having salmon, but this is what I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these packages opened up. So what I do is I just take it and run it under some water, like some hot water, just for a couple seconds, just to kind of loosen up that ice layer that's having it like stuck to the bag. Also put the broiler on high. I'll also rinse off the salmon once it comes out of the plastic. If you don't do that, then the seasonings won't stick, and you also just want to rinse your food off anyway, just because you don't know where it's been. And I can smell this. It smells like it's kind of charring a little bit, so I turned it down to like a 7 just because I don't want it to burn. Let me go ahead and check it. Okay, it's fine. Back to our salmon. I'm gonna put some complete seasoning, and I'm only gonna worry about seasoning one side of the salmon. Some adobo. And you don't want to go too heavy on the salt because it's thin, so don't want to make it too salty. This is some garlic powder. Some pepper, and I'm going to add just a touch of Creole seasoning to give it a little spice. And literally that's it. I'm going to pop this in under the broiler for like 10 minutes or so, just until it's done, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it comes out. Usually I would be like super worried about cooking this all the way through, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to chop it up and then put it back into the pan with some teriyaki sauce, and then let it continue to cook like that. So that's going to be quicker. So I'm going to just pull it out right now. This one I know for sure it needs some more time because it's pretty much raw in the middle, but the rest of them, these are just about done. So I'm pulling these, and I'm going to let this one cook and add some more. So it's still not done, but you can see that's going to cook pretty quickly once we put it back under the heat and it's cut into smaller pieces. So I'm not really worried about it. So basically I just want these cut into bite-sized pieces. Just waiting on this last one to finish cooking. Actually, you know what? I think it's cooked enough. Let me chop that one up, and then we can get everything back into the pan with the sauce and be pretty much done. The microwave just went off, so the rice is just about done. I need to check it. Let me go ahead and check it now. This is what the texture looks like. So it's got a little bit of stickiness to it, which I don't mind at all. The texture is perfectly fine. The kernels aren't mushy or anything. So I'm just going to put some plastic wrap on this and let it steam some more while I get the broccoli into the microwave. Here's the broccoli. I'm just going to pop this into the microwave for 6 minutes. And back to the chicken. I have the pan off the heat because I don't want it to burn while I'm doing this. Yeah, it's not cooked all the way, which again is fine. I'm gonna get the chicken back into the pan. Along with the teriyaki sauce. I added a little bit of water in here just to get it all out. And I'm literally just going to give this a couple minutes to cook, to let all of the chicken get cooked all the way through, and to let the sauce thicken slightly. And that's it. We can serve this over rice, and if anyone needs more sauce, I have another bottle that's unopened that we can use to top the rice with. And there we have it. We got some teriyaki chicken, our rice is done, and I'm just waiting on the broccoli. And I've literally been in the kitchen for like 25 minutes, so winning. I almost forgot about the salmon, but I grabbed it right before it got burnt, so here it is. And of course, he's just gonna have this with rice and broccoli as well.
So I'm going to jump in the shower, clean up all that, and that's we are going to slide by the grocery store. And before I go, let's check on these dogs down here, honey. So I've been talking with Anthony. Oh, I just like this because he's different. Anyway, we're still deciding. We talked about it a little bit more this morning. I feel like right now I would say I'm kind of no offense, but get your money back, girl. Seems like this whole thing alone got a really good review.
Alright, so it's lunchtime and I'm just going to have leftovers. So here's the rice from last night. And here is the leftover teriyaki chicken. Not a lot left of that. And the broccoli's gone. So I got some rice. I'm going to throw some frozen broccoli in here and heat it up all together. And then throw the chicken on top. And that is going to be my lunch. We're just gonna do like a one pot pasta meal. Super quick, super easy, and get in and out. So I'm gonna start with some olive oil. And some diced onion. Here are some diced tomatoes. So I'm going to add in probably about half of this can and just like let it fry in the oil. And I have this on high, by the way, just because I want to get this done as soon as possible and as quickly as possible. And here is some spinach. Just going to add in the frozen spinach. And this is going to be a full 12 ounce bag of spinach. Another ingredient that I'm going to go ahead and add is about a half block of cream cheese, and this is going to give us that creaminess that we're not going to get from milk since we don't have any. Alright, so now that we have our base done, it's just going to be about building on this and adding more flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and add a chicken flavored Maggi cube, and this is going to add a bunch of flavor, as well as a little bit of saltiness. And essentially, once I add some water in here, it's going to be chicken broth. Next, I'm going in with some garlic and onion powder. A little bit of salt. Some complete seasoning. And just a little bit of Tony Chachere's. Oh yeah, and pepper. Can't forget the pepper. Some Italian seasoning might also be good in this. I don't think it hurt anything. So I'll add a little bit. And now I'm literally just going to add an entire 16-ounce box of rotini pasta. You can do whatever pasta you have on hand. This is what I have. And I like that it cooks really quickly, so I'm using that. And then some water. And you only want to add just enough water for the pasta to soak up. You don't want it to be super runny. So to know that, there's really no way to know how much water the pasta is going to take. I would estimate probably about 3 cups. But you're going to have to just check on it and add more water as needed if it's getting a little too dry. I always feel like it's better to have less than to have too much, just because it's going to make your pasta mushy if you add too much water. So I think maybe just a touch more. And that's it. I'm going to pop the top on this and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Oh, I'm also dropping the temperature down to about a 2. You want it pretty low because otherwise it'll burn the pasta. And you do need to taste this at some point, but I'm going to wait until it's almost done. So I know how well the actual pasta is flavored. And then I'll go from there as far as adjusting the seasoning.
Okay, so the pasta is done. There's this little bit of the liquid left over, but that's fine. We can leave the top off, and as you let it simmer with the top off, the liquid will evaporate. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and taste it and see what else it needs. And we're also going to add a bunch of cheese to it to give it even more flavor. It's honestly really good at this point. So I am going to add some Parmesan cheese to it. The salt level is perfect. It doesn't need any more. The pasta is al dente. It's almost perfect. So by the time the rest of this liquid soaks up, it will be perfect. And now I'm trying to decide between mozzarella cheese and Kobe Jack cheese. I feel like the cheddar and the Kobe Jack might give it a little bit of extra sharpness. So I think I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to add about a half cup of this Kobe Jack, and I added about a quarter cup of the Parmesan. And that is literally it. We have a super quick and easy veggie pasta. You can add chicken to this if you want to, if you have some pre-made chicken or something like that. Another option is these bacon bits. I found these in the fridge as well, so we could use these up. Just pop some on top of the pasta.